thought we'd cut together a small video showing our latest display tank. So this is an African cichlid aquarium. It has fish from Lake Tanganyika and Lake Malawi. It has a sump filter, and in that filter we have porous foam. Now it's really cool to see how well the fish are doing, and as a litmus test, this tiny little Tropheus, which is a kind of a finicky fish, you'll see a few of them in this tank. I think there's 8 all up, and they'd only be 20 mil, and they're doing really well. Now, sorry for how long this video has taken. We've been looking after these little guys, and they certainly do take up a fair amount of time. Thanks for all the feedback, and thanks for all the kind wishes. They're all doing really healthy. Everyone's got a cool home. Quite a few of them are just staying within our friends and family, which is quite nice to be able to see them grow up. We've put a lot of effort into them, making sure that they are just the coolest little dogs out, and they're going to hit the ground running. Love this tank. It's got a real depth of field to it. It's our lowest maintenance tank. There's an example of the small little Tropheus in the bottom of the screen just grazing away. Now those guys would only be just over 20 mil, so showing that they're actually doing really well in this community, which is a real litmus test for how healthy the tank is. Here's a slightly wider shot. We've got an LED light system on the top with another tier of LED lighting behind that. Now this tank is got a fair amount of wood in it, and I kind of like adding branches within a tank. It doesn't take up that much of the water. It doesn't really mess with the pH that much if you're doing the right things, but what it does do is create a jungle gym effect for the fish to get behind and to use as an escape hatch from getting away from other fish that are exerting resource guarding on them. So the filtration of this tank is porous filter foam, which you know that we're all committed to porous, and it always just produces such good results. So this tank has a sump set up below it, obviously. We then run the water through 2 stages of porous foam. It then passes through, and you see the little puppies in the background there, passes through a section of offcuts of the foam in 50 ml squares. So this is the biological filtration, and then after that biological filtration we run it through a sheet of 30 ppi. So if we wanted to make the clarity even better or work towards a high level of mechanical filtration, we would just shift a 45 ppi sheet in there, and that's easily available with our mechanical sump kits. So basically the porous foam does the mechanical filtration and the biological filtration. It's a really good simple setup that allows you to use an existing tank as a sump rather than having something with baffles and all the waste of it, because if you notice there would have been no baffles on that tank. Alright, so back to this wider tank. So a lot of these fish is also showcasing the fish that we have for sale, and a lot of questions have come about around couriers. So during this winter gap we have been setting all of our deliveries going out with boxes of fish that they are depot collections, just because the courier systems, man, these guys are under a lot of pressure, and it's really hard to be able to maintain that high level of excellence when the output is increased. I think the danger in the supply chain is obviously at the courier side, so by setting it all as depot collections. Interestingly enough, we sent a box of fish, should have been air freight, but they were accidentally sent as 2-day items. They were very large fish, sent down to Dunedin. It took 48 hours obviously to get there, plus a few hours because the customer then arranged for them to be dropped off, and they waited outside on a Dunedin outside someone's house for a whole day, and it really showcases how much effort we've put into the shipping of our fish. I do it in a very calm, relaxed manner now. Our systems and processes are so good that even if the fish aren't arriving on the existing time frame and they arrive another 28-30 hours afterwards to the actual tank, they're still doing well, even on a cold Dunedin day. So I'm really chuffed that those fish arrived, because I had explained to the customer that chances of them were not good. We do everything to make sure that they are going to arrive in great health, and he's really stoked with the quality of the fish and the fact that they were able to get mis-sent. I will not be sending fish on the 2-day ticket ever though, so just please don't ask. I don't think taking the risk for no reason is worth it. So I hope you've enjoyed this tank. It's a good example of my new favorite display tank, and thanks for watching. creating natural looking aquariums that are easy to maintain.